Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching GEEKCASTER, everything sci-fi, fantasy, and pop culture commentary. I'm Seven, we've got Drew, and we've got Corey. How y'all doing today?
Good. It's I'm not sure where Corey is at exactly. It's warm where you are. It's like in the 80s where we're at. It's like comfortable, I'd say. It's all right.
I am on the East Coast where it is very warm.
Yourself, Seven?
Yeah. East Coast, very warm. Different part of the East Coast, but yeah, it is warm.
Mm.
It is warm, which is good.
Well, it is summer. I'll put it this way.
Right.
It was cold for a minute, and I'm glad that at least it's June, so we should be feeling heat. That's a good sign that we're not exactly in the new ice age yet.
The beginning of June felt like the new ice age. It was
kind of weird. I'm like, yo, it's still kind of chilly out, and we're in June. It's like summer weather. I'm like, oh yeah, because global warming's not a thing. But yeah.
Right.
We got a lot of rain over here, so.
Yeah, it's been raining crazy the last 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So you guys already saw 20 years later. I actually went back and saw, 28 days, 28 weeks, just to get a refresher. And unfortunately, when I went to see Ballerina, I saw the trailer of 28 years, and that kind of turned me off.
What turned you off specifically about it?
I felt like I was watching a trailer for the Walking Dead series, which is basically giving me the vibes of Walking Dead mixed with I Am Legend. Like the zombies are getting stronger, faster, more intelligent, hive mind. That's what I got really quick. Again, I could be totally off, just a trailer. But
based off the trailer, if it's weird that you say like making those comparisons to like The Walking Dead,
right,
and that other stuff, considering the fact that while not the first like zombie infection movie of its type,
right,
it predates a lot of that stuff. It came out before the zombies are cool boom and stuck around throughout, and I would say that it kind of like survives it with this film in a way, even though as I didn't go back and watch the originals. I would say that like from the first one to now, it's definitely like skewed a bit. The quality's gone down a little bit, I would say. Okay. It's taken on a couple of the tropes that you would say is like kind of par for the course at this point for zombie stuff. However, it did it with this one in a way to where, for those who are like fans of the original films, seeing what happens in the timeline since then and how humanity adapts to that situation that we saw them in 28 days and 28 weeks.
Okay.
I think they do an interesting job of luring you in for that.
Okay.
I disagree.
All right.
Okay. And
so,
yeah.
With the emergence of like Train to Busan and Walking Dead, I do feel like within the ethos of the 28 Days series, it was par of the course, but it just didn't deliver like you wanted. Like, yes, it started the zombie genre, but then, we got other zombie movies that really pushed the line forward for zombie movies that we come to expect now. And I just feel like it didn't live up to its potential. However, they did film this movie with the sequel, The Bone Temple, which is going to take place, I think, January. And that part of 28 years later was interesting. That was the only part that really kept my attention. Everything else was just black.
Okay. I hear where you're coming from. I'm on the opposite side of that camp because you're referring to the ending specifically, Corey.
Mm-hmm.
That part that felt the most disjointed and not a part of the film franchise at all, that actually felt kind of goofy. We'll get to it, Seven, because I don't know if you saw it. Did you?
Right, no, not yet, but I'm loving what I'm hearing.
Dang, man.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
In order for us to talk about it, Seven, we'll have to go into spoiler territory. I almost don't want to now, but just the same for the show.
I would say save it, because I think if we do like a spoiler.
Okay,
So,
if you're seeing it Tuesday, I'll hold back for now.
okay.
I think that part that you're referring to with the connection to the end of the film is where it becomes just kind of, you want to talk about par for the course Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's advertise a whole nother movie. Let's use the entire ending of this film to kind of serve as a teaser trailer for
Wow.
what's going to be the next joint, a la Marvel. What we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about,
Wow.
it's kind of just the same old, same old. Till that part in the film, when it happens, I'm like, what is this ending?
Right.
It connects things that we'd seen. We didn't even really get an arc with this. With the
No,
character that
that's
it's
what I'm
connected
saying.
to, there's no arc. And when the character who they're referring to at the beginning, because in the trailer
Mm-hmm.
7, you saw the little kids in
Yeah.
the room.
Right.
They're watching Teletubbies, right?
Yeah.
And
And
the
then.
zombie. It's not even a zombie apocalypse. That's the thing too. We keep calling it zombie. They're not zombies, and that's a crucial thing for this.
Mm,
When the outbreak occurs, they're in this kind of idyllic, small village-looking place,
mm-hmm.
and the kids they got the kids locked up, and it's popping off. And one of the kids in particular, they focus on. This character is integral to the plot, but you won't really see him at all. You see him at the
Okay.
beginning, and then you see him at the tail end. And when they did this, I'm like, what was the
What was the
purpose of
point
that
of that?
character? It seems like this person is integral to the series, but we don't see them. I come to find out after the fact, oh, they're setting up another movie. It's like that's
Uh,
the setup for the sequel. I'm like, oh, because we're doing because Marvel does it.
So
Wait for next product.
the
Gotcha.
one thing is, the beginning of the movie is supposed to take place at the same time, 28 days later. It's like the beginning of the franchise. And then we skip ahead 28 years later, and then the ending is supposed to be the continuation of what we kind of saw.
mm,
It's weird. Like I said, that's why I didn't really enjoy it. It didn't really capture my attention, but I understand the thinking behind it, and I want to see where it goes.
mm.
That's the only thing that piqued my interest, but the movie really didn't.
Uh, I'm on the opposite camp. I think the parts that were supposed to be a 28 film,
Okay.
it worked. They do things to where they could branch off into potentially other like treks when it comes to the plot and the character motivations and stuff.
Right.
It chooses its certain route, again, without spoiling anything. It goes a certain route by the 20-30 minute mark, but then the son does something because it's a little boy who's the main character. He goes by the name
Mhm.
Spike. Don't know the actor's name, but his character's name is Spike. He's 12. He lives in this community of people who survived the outbreak. They live in kind of like this interesting island where the geography really works out for these people during this thing. In a zombie or rabbit outbreak, where you are is crucial.
Mm,
They're so out in the boonies and so away from like the mainland that it's like this little plot of land, and the only way to get there is this one trek that goes in and out through high tide. It's accessible based on high tide, right? So some days at certain points in the day it's accessible, and then the rest of the day it's not because it's filled with water. Okay, and they've used this to survive for, we're assuming, like 28 years since the infection occurred.
right.
This kid has grown up in this community. They have their own little hunter-gatherer forager society where people are allocated different tasks.
Mm,
And his first time, it starts off with him and Aaron Taylor Johnson's character. He's his dad. They go out into the mainland to get his first kill. Because in this world, they raised kids to a certain age. And then by like age, I think they mentioned in the film like ages 15 to 16 are typical. That's more normal. Between like ages 15 and 16, you go out into the mainland. This kid's 12. He's supposed to be 12 when he does this. So he's a little young for this kind of group of this kind of, what do you call it? Coming of age journey, you could say, is what the film is. Or it starts off as and kind of just progresses. And then it's good. I enjoyed it for what it was. I like how it shows how humans adapted. And then at the tail end, after it's all said and done, after what I will admit, what I didn't like about the film, its third act, like, struggle, doesn't really feel like a third act struggle.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't.
It's not. It doesn't really feel like things happen. There's dangers. There's things that occur to where that it could impede Spike's journey and get them all killed. But it kind of just happens, and the film moves on.
Yeah.
It kind of just happens, and you just mosey on, and it's not the most satisfying. However, the kid's resolution is. That's what I think saves it at the end.
Okay.
They could have went a different route with things involving like his mom and his parents and that dynamic. They could have went a different route with it.
Mhm.
They
But I kind
should've.
of think it's refreshing that they could have, But I don't know if they necessarily should have, because that would have been a little too cliche at this point, I would say.
Gotcha.
Well, if they're trying to build a trilogy, because that's what they're trying to do with this 28 years, part of the 28 years, 28 days series. I don't know. I agree with you on some parts. Like the way they shot the film was interesting. Some of the jump scares, if you will, were very blah and just there for shock value, not there for the story. I don't know. The whole film just felt disconnected. But if they're trying to set it up, like again for the next movie, the Bone Temple, I see where they're going with it.
Bro, it feels
And
And it's a
disconnected
part of the
because
same
it's setting up a whole
universe, right?
franchise.
yeah, yes, it's still the
Yeah,
same
it's the
universe.
same stuff. And get this, fun fact, Seven, the guy that no, do I even tell that much? Yeah, no, the actor we're referring to, you just saw in Sinners.
Oh Lord.
I didn't realize
Alfie
that.
Williams, that's his name.
I didn't even know that was him until after we walked out of the theater. The homie that I was with, he was like, that was dude from Sinners, the vampire dude from Sinners. And I was like, oh yeah, that's where I noticed him from. And it feels disjointed because they're trying to set up a whole franchise and what we were coming in to expect as a 28, X time later film.
Wow.
So enjoyable though, I would say. Aaron Taylor Johnson does a good job. The kid does a good job. The acting is on point, I would say. Ralph Fiennes becomes my favorite character in the joint.
Yeah.
I won't say who he is, but he's in it and he does the best job I think out of all the. When it comes to seeing how people, again, adapt and like kind of occupy their time in this world where like it's the world where the society has ended and there's like rabid scavengers out trying to kill you. This dude made the most of his time. With what he was doing. It was kind of wild, but I found it enjoyable overall.
All right. So, did you guys see Ballerina?
I didn't see that one yet.
I did.
And what was your?
It was a waste of time.
I saw it as well. Nothing groundbreaking. I mean, you're basically walking into an extended portion of the John Wick universe, basically, just through the eyes and the backstory of a random other hit woman, assassin.
When does it take place? That was my thing.
So it takes place in John Wick 3.
Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he visits the director, the Russian lady. They tied those scenes in the beginning of Ballerina and John Wick 3, and then it branches off. And I feel like this was the most not needed sequel of anything. It was not needed at all.
No, there was no. But the fight choreography lived up. I thought that was great. There was some moments in there. Well, is it because you didn't believe? And we spoke about this before, Drew, where you'll have some characters, all of a sudden they're martial arts geniuses, and it's just not believable. Now, was it that you didn't like the choreography, or you didn't believe that this actor, this Anna de Armas, you didn't believe that she was doing all the stuff? It just got too much.
No, I just felt like it wasn't worthy to be called John Wick level choreography. I don't think it fit in the series. I felt like they did enough. It was comical a bunch of times.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, some moments were interesting. I don't know. It felt like the movie itself tried way too hard.
I feel earlier on in the film, they did the temperature and the whole like fight like a girl as a not a negative thing, but as a positive thing. So her style had to be a little different. Otherwise, why even have that scene unless you're just trying to, go with the times, girl power kind of thing. Because if you really want to just treat people as equals, you don't even have to have that scene. Just make her amazing, and that's it. You don't have to do the whole fight like a girl thing.
Hmm.
But I disagree. I thought she did I thought she did a good job. I could see at some point it was a little too much, and it was just movement, 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 movement. Um, Within the first 5 to 15 minutes, I kind of not even. I would say the first 5 minutes, I knew where they were going with it, as far as, and without giving too much, because it really isn't. Basically, you know, you killed my father. Then someone, I'm going to train you to be a fighter. Oh, I want to find out who killed my father. I mean, it was just very, very typical. In
Hmm.
some way kind of good, in some way kind of bad. Like if you're into old school martial arts films, I mean that's it. You either killed my master, my brother, or my father. I mean that's
It's
usually
typically all you really need in those situations. Yeah.
right. So in that way, I kind of liked it, but I didn't like that. I kind of saw where this was going. Actually, not even 5 minutes. I say within 40 seconds. I was like, all right. I kind of understand the first half of the movie already before it hit me, which made me sleepy at some point because I kind of knew where it was going to go, so there was no excitement of where this was going to go. Um, so I don't know. If
Just
if you're a fan of John Wick, why not? But I wouldn't go out of my way to say watch this film.
I'm a fan of John Wick, and there was no reason to try to include him into this movie. It could have been its own standalone movie.
But I thought you said you didn't overly like it. Didn't it need that push to have him in it
For ratings, yeah, but for the
for the
quality,
story?
that's what I'm saying. For the fight quality, it was not John Wick level. It should
Okay.
have been its own movie.
Okay.
Like John Wick played no part in the whole plot of this movie whatsoever.
I
It wasn't
mean,
needed.
his portion was not needed, for sure. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, he is in it. It's like there's no surprise
he's in
there.
it.
He's in it, but it's
Right.
like I don't know. So are we swaying you,
My,
Drew? Do you want to see this, or you're like, I'm good?
I'll check it out on streaming eventually. I'm not going to rush out to the theaters and go see it if
Right.
it's still in.
Right.
My only thing is, if I know that it takes place during 3, I'm like, okay, so if John Wick is her target, she's not going to kill him because John Wick goes until at least 4 or 5.
Right.
And even then, we still don't think he's dead in the series. So
Right.
even though he's like dead officially, I think he's still using that as like a going to ground opportunity.
Right.
They think I'm dead, so let them think that, and I'm going to sit up there and just take them out from the shadows.
Right.
But I'll check it out eventually. I'll get around to it.
Yeah. Yeah. And folks, we're all about money is very precious. So we would like you to
Save it where you can.
yeah.
Oh yeah, in this landscape, definitely save your ducats where you can, y'all. Things are up on the way that the beauty part about that is, you can make a very cautious, safe selection on what movies you go to the theaters and see, and what you just wait a month and then watch at home with whatever
Yeah.
subscription or app you got.
Right.
Just do your thing.
Right.
In these
100%.
two movies, you can definitely wait till they come on streaming services. You're not missing anything.
Yeah. I hear that
Yeah,
100%.
we have a dearth of options. There's stuff on streaming that I would say, hey, take it at your leisure, because we've seen what's the last one? The last Tyler Perry joint that we saw.
Oh, Straw.
I mean, making a real made-for-TV movie look like it's something worth being shot in theaters. It's kind of a wild thing with that movie, but yeah, you got options. That's your leisure, folks.
Yeah.
They're not going anywhere.
So I don't know anyone that has seen this movie yet, even though a lot of fans of the Karate Kid movies, Cobra Kai, huge hit
Hmm.
when it comes to Netflix. Have you heard any feedback on Karate Kid Legends? And have you
Not
guys
really.
seen it?
I haven't seen it. I haven't really heard anything about it yet. It was reviewed pretty well. I think people that did go see it said that they enjoyed it for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's connected to the Cobra Kai series.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume that it would be, just because we're using older Ralph Macchio, we're using Jackie Chan,
Mm-hmm.
and for anybody who watched Cobra Kai, as much as they stretched the taffy on all that lore in
Oh,
the series,
yeah.
down to where like characters who showed up in a scene were coming back on the show after a point. They had a scene in a Karate Kid movie, and they were made part of the series, right? With this, if they manage to, it's like the last tether that we didn't get.
Right.
The other Karate Kid that was supposed to be in China that had Jaden, was it Jaden that was in that one?
Jaden Smith,
When he was a kid?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, remember the Jaden Smith thing that he did? Yeah, all right, so that's the same universe because they mentioned Mr. Miyagi. And that was that kind of, they need an arc where they go to China.
Mm-hmm.
The show didn't get there, so the movie can pull off that last little thing.
Okay.
And then just throw Hilary Swank in it.
I did watch it.
I don't know. She's the last one. She's the last. She's the only other character that didn't show up from the movies in the show.
But no, Jaden didn't. Did he?
Well, besides maybe Jaden.
Yeah.
So Jaden and Hilary Swank didn't show up.
Yeah, but everybody else did it. Yeah.
Just about, yeah.
Just about.
So I did watch it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. You ain't smiling too much, so I guess not.
So I'm conflicted with this film.
Okay. Tell me about it.
Was it decent? It was decent. There are some nods to fans of past movies and the show. There is a scene that actually does tie this movie to the Cobra Kai series.
Mm-hmm.
That's at the end of the movie, like a little post-credit scene.
Yeah.
For the overall arc of the story, I think it did modernize the story of Karate Kid. There was a good tie-in between Mr. Miyagi and going to China. Like, they combined all of the all of the previous elements into this one film. There's a lot there. I just think it was a little cash grabby. But other than that, I did enjoy myself watching it. The fight choreography was done well in certain parts. In other parts, it was, CGI and chords and stuff. But other than that,
wire work and stuff.
I think it's worth the watch if you're a fan of the Karate Kid series.
Okay. Yeah, that one's on the list too. I will probably wait for streaming on that one. It looked, and when we say cash grabby, everything past Karate Kid 2, I'd say, was like also cash grabby. So I can't really say that falls out of favor with what the series is. It's just they've been able to. What I think Karate Kid was able to do is they took this 80s movie, this kind of one-off in theory 80s joint, and turned it into a whole shonen, like modern day, almost. All right, when I describe Cobra Kai, if you took that show Degrassi and then combined it with like Power Rangers, like the fight choreography and action sequences of Power Rangers, but you mix it with the teen drama of like Degrassi, right? That's what Cobra Kai more or less is, using the lore and plot arcs and then characters from the Karate Kid movies, right? If this film can pull that off, it works. It doesn't have to be anything else.
Well, in that sense, it does. So, yeah, I agree with that.
All right, when? I'm going to check it out.
And also, as far as the writing, even though they slowly slipped on it, but it was consistently there, just a slip. The drama between the kids, as you could say, the Degrassi element, but also the drama with the adults, how the adults had their own little things, and and the martial arts was in the middle of it. So I thought that was kind of cool, because at the end of the day, if you're going to work this IP that so many people know in the past, you can't alienate the people that know it from the past that want to watch it. So I think that they do a pretty good job doing that. When it gets a little too much with the kids, let's do something with the adults. Kind of brings
there you go.
It back.
Yeah, you got it there. What I was gonna say is, while that teen drama stuff is there,
right,
Cobra Kai was smart enough to keep the adult, what I would call like the adult psychology between, what's his name? Oh my God, Johnny Lawrence and Danny LaRusso. Right. Their trauma from their teens is what fuels the entire series. The beef that they had over karate and bullying back in the 80s carries over with their children, with all the kids that they interact with. And it's like the entire show about Cobra Kai was them overcoming that past trauma, that weight that they were carrying from that fight when they were kids.
Right.
So in that regard, that makes it a little more grounded and I think palatable for older people.
Right. And
So,
real, right? Like that little element of realness, how you could have beefs that last for years, decades.
It's trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beefs and trauma that follow us all. I mean, the trauma is what leads to the beef, right? So Johnny was messed up because of the harsh winner take all, everybody's a loser but me mentality that he had from the Cobra Kai school.
Right.
And I would argue Danny's is just as bad because it's I need to butt in and be everyone's hero, even though you're kind of making matters worse.
Right.
Danny LaRusso's that guy that always has to butt in and be the hero and stuff. But I'm like, dude, that situation, your need to always be like in the mix makes more problems. It can make more conflict.
Right.
So
which is his wife's role, right? Stay out of it. Let it be. It's just karate. It's not that.
She's my favorite character in the show, oddly enough.
Yeah.
Like Danny's wife in that, she was like, dude, all this over a beef from the 80s, man. But she stays in. She stays locked in. She stays supportive. Right. She stays supportive. And by the end of the series, she's with it. She's like, no, she's the team mom. Yeah. She's like the Karate Kid mom. So she was dope.
Like, beat him. You got him. You know. The brother's character was annoying at different parts. It just...
The brother's character? Who? Who are you talking about?
Ralph Macchio's son in it.
Oh, he's a side character, bro. He's not...
I know.
They focus more on his daughter, Sam, more than they do Anthony.
Right. They started to build him up of the last season.
They give him things to do, but he stays kind of relegated to just a supporting side character.
The way you say it, yeah.
Miguel, it's not chumping the kid off or anything, but he's the opposite of Danny in some ways. His thing was like being the opposite of his dad in the series, and Sam was kind of like the firstborn princess of their dojo, and she doesn't even really come off all that great at times as a character.
No, she doesn't.
It was Miguel, bro. Miguel was the main kid.
Yeah, Miguel.
Started with Miguel and ended with Miguel.
Yeah. So we have a little bit more on that, right? Didn't they pause it or they finished it out?
Oh, they're done. Cobra Kai, that's done.
Oh, Cobra Kai is done.
They're done.
So then I gotta watch.
Kids are about to go to college. No.
All right, so I gotta watch a couple because I saw right when they the lady when she wanted to appease her father and they lost and all that stuff. No,
her grandfather?
Her grandfather, her grandfather.
The Asian chick with the ponytail? Yeah, you'll see where that one goes.
Okay.
She does. She got a solution for that one.
Okay, so I got.
So I never watched the show, but I'm pretty sure they did do a lot of nods to the show.
The nods are pretty good, and the flashback characters, the cameos were really cool. In fact, one of the guys that did a cameo passed away right after that.
Oh man.
Yeah, the one I think that remember. He was, they were riding bikes, and they said he had cancer or something. I think he really did.
Oh, in the show, yeah, he did pass away. He did pass away. And I think the other guy, too, the McQueen guy, died, too.
Yeah, two of them, I think, passed.
The blonde-haired guy?
Yeah.
Two of them passed away, which is rough, but...
Right. So...
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Corey, I would definitely say check it out. Check it out. We got one more minute. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, they did a very, very great tribute to... Mr. Miyagi, Pat Morita. They really did a really good tribute to him throughout the movie.
Nice.
They fit those in well. They did a good one for the show, too.
That was great.
There was some good dedication to him in it.
Cool. So if you're watching this on cable, thank you very much. Please continue. You could always check us out on GEEKCASTER.com. Also, if you're seeing us on YouTube, GEEKCASTER, just go to GEEKCASTER.com and keep going. Thank you very much, Drew. Thank you, Corey. I'm Seven. You're watching GEEKCASTER, and we will continue to be that voice. Hopefully, you save some money. Be like, oh, you need to check this out, and also go through some flashback stuff. Some movies that went under the radar that you should check out. Because streaming, everything's accessible, right? So, alrighty. And if you're watching on Twitch live. We got another one for you. One more. So sit tight. All right. You're watching GEEKCASTER.